Sup fools, how's it going? Welcome to another video, and today I'm gonna give you three tips really, how to improve your shitty, terrible films in post-production so they're not as shitty and terrible. Have I insulted you too much yet? Did you click away? No? So stay tuned. I'm Phil Vlog, hope you're doing well, and we've all been there. Like, we shot a great piece of cinema, at least that's what we think, and then we're in post-production and it's just... it's terrible. And with these three tips you can really improve your films in post-production to make them actually watchable. The most important one is probably timing. To choose the right moment to cut from one shot to the other is sometimes hard. But let me tell you a secret. It's always hard. That's what she said. Always take your time to choose carefully when you're gonna cut from one sequence to the other. Sometimes just 1 or 2 frames can make a huge difference, so be careful. For example, if you cut within a movement, you always want to repeat 2 or 3 frames from the last cut again in the next shot. Might not make sense, but it's easier for the viewer's brain to understand, oh, I cut to a different angle and this is where the movement is going. It's very subconscious, but it's definitely helpful. But yeah, sometimes this little fine-tuning can really make the difference between a masterpiece and your usual work. My personal advice is, when it comes to editing frequency, how often you cut, I try to think of it as a stage play. In a stage play, there are no cuts, but it still works, right? So I try to keep that in mind for my own work. I try to use as few cuts as possible, as many as necessary to tell the story as interestingly as possible. The next tip is going more into the category fixing it in post. We've all been there. You review the dailies after a hard day on set, and to your surprise, you realize you're a motherfucking genius. Oh no, wait, that's just me. But what you probably are more familiar with is that you find those little mistakes here and there. Stuff you didn't catch on set, stuff you didn't catch in the camera, like equipment in the background, a boom in the frame, or simply that your lead is a worthless fat ass with no talent. And always weigh your options to determine what's the most efficient, maybe the cheapest or the fastest fix. At times you'll want to reshoot, or other times it's best to fix it in post. If there's any objects in the frame you just want to remove, maybe you can just adjust the framing, scale it up a little, move the frame a little back and forth, and maybe that's gonna do the trick. Or adding depth by introducing foreground objects which cover up the background but also make it more cinematic because you have something in the foreground. Just make it blurry. Or you have a light in the background which needs to be there, but it's obviously a film light, just put a lens flare on it. That could do the trick too. And then just watch your shot improve tenfold. If something is shot overexposed, underexposed, you can fine-tune the lighting. You can adjust the colors even. Or just to make a shot more interesting, put a shadow on the wall so it's not just white and boring. Make it interesting, you fucking hack. Okay, enough about the visuals. Let's talk about sound. Most filmmakers out there, or especially YouTube filmmakers, they will disagree with me, but just to make some cash from you, my tip is record as much as you can your own audio. Try to avoid using libraries, sound libraries, music libraries as much as you can, because A, it will never fully match the audio you shot on location, and B, we will recognize those sound effects, those gunshots from this game or this movie or the music. We know it's from Artlist, or we know it's from Epidemic Sound. We know those sound effects because everybody's using them and we will recognize them. So try not to be so lazy and try to record as much as you can by yourself, because that makes your sound design and music unique. And stop being lazy. I see so many filmmakers just edit their short film together and then blast some music underneath and call it done. But that's not how you do sound design. You have to go just like you do your edit, just like you write your script, frame by frame, you go through. And when do we need a certain sound effect? So my tip basically is try to not be lazy, stop being lazy, and put effort into the details, because only that way you can make a real great piece of cinema. And for that, I really have a great tip for you how you can improve or recognize your sound design if it's good or bad. Try to watch your film without any video. Try to only listen to it. If you hear digital silence, or something is peaking, or something doesn't work, or you can't figure out what the story is about by just listening to it, then you have to improve it. If it's a walking sound or somebody's grabbing keys or whatever you're telling in your story, we should be able to hear it too. Maybe super quiet, maybe very subtle, but it should be there. So don't be lazy with it, and it also actually works the other way around. Watch your video without any sound, and then you also see timing issues if it doesn't really work. So watch your video without sound, listen to your video without the video, and that is definitely going to help you to improve your film in post. So I hope you enjoyed my video. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below, and also make sure to subscribe to my Infinite Cinema page, because this is where I post my great pieces of cinema. This is also where you can talk shit about my projects. Feel free, subscribe here, subscribe to my channel. There's lots of videos about filmmaking and stuff like that. So thank you for watching, and see you in the next video. Doodle.